gambling sting at a Pike County gas station. A search warrant was executed on Friday at a Marathon station. The investigation into the gambling activities being conducted at the gas station is still ongoing, and no arrests have been made at this time. For 1819 News, I'm Carl Brady.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
The Tears family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome into the program here. Lovely Tuesday out of Montgomery, Alabama. As I look at the headlines, I guess Jimmy Kimmel is going to return, but Nextstar and Sinclair Broadcasting said not so fast. ABC can make their decision. We're still going to preempt him. President Trump spoke this morning at the United Nations General Assembly speech, at one point threatening the teleprompter operator in a humorous way. Also seeing Google admitting how much they censored people, and they're going to offer all creators they previously kicked off the YouTube platform over the years due to political speech to return to the platform. And Tom Homan saying the government has nearly gotten 2 million illegals out of the U.S. under Trump. Well, the Supreme Court of the United States has given Trump the nod to fire an FTC commissioners at will, another strike to the administrative state's independence. Joining us to discuss these things and much more, we have the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how are you today, sir?
Well, Joey, my dear friend, thank you for having me on your show, as always.
Have you had the chance to catch any of the clips of the president speaking at the UN this morning?
I did not, but I know how frustrating it is when a prompter operator is going too fast or too slow.
Well, and then on his way up to the stage, as soon as he steps on the escalator stops and stops working. So,
Wow.
So he said the UN, all they gave me was a broken escalator and a broken teleprompter. That was on the lighter side of things. At one point, he doubles down. I believe you wrote about this last week on the strikes against Venezuelan cartels that they have designated terrorist groups, doing this if they're trying to traffic through into the United States with these drugs. I just want to give you the floor to kind of, as you see, not only Trump do this, Rubio doubled down on it as well, talking to CBS this morning. So what do you make of this policy?
It's an act of murder. This is out of George Orwell's book. Why wait for the crime to happen? Find the people you think are going to commit the crime and execute them before they do so. This is about as profound a violation of the wording of the Constitution, the values of the Constitution, the meaning of America, that we are not a police state. A police state is one where the power of the police and the order of society trumps, no pun intended, the liberty of the individual. A free state is one where the police work for us. These murders on the high seas are acts of a police state.
You don't buy, and I guess the argument they would make is this is under the powers of the president has for foreign policy and direct threats to the nation. I think that's the language Rubio used this morning, that we're designating these like direct threats to the nation and we'll respond.
Well, there's a provision for that in the Constitution. It's called the war powers, and they should ask Congress to declare war on whatever country is sending these people out. They know they won't get it because the treaties to which the United States is a party, which the United States wrote, require that there be a real serious threat to the national security of the United States before Congress may lawfully declare war. They can't have it both ways. They can't claim that this is the use of the president's war power without a declaration of war, and they can't claim that he has the power to execute people before they commit a crime. It's absolutely reprehensible they even want to make these claims. Marco Rubio should be prosecuted, not lauded, prosecuted for his gross, profound violations of the Constitution, along with his buddy Pete Hegseth. And the people that pulled the triggers should have resigned rather than doing so. They should have said, Mr. Secretary, my loyalty is to the Constitution. It's not to you and to the president. The last time I checked, murder was a federal crime.
Has there ever, to your knowledge, any legal challenges to this yet, or how would even somebody have standing to challenge this?
I would imagine it would have to be a wrongful death case brought by the family of the persons executed. There are wrongful death cases. The 9/11 death case is about to be tried, believe it or not, 24 years later in Lower Manhattan. So there is precedent for this.
Now, there's another little more narrow decision by the Supreme Court came out yesterday, backing Trump's decision to fire a commissioner on the Federal Trade Commission. And this is a temporary decision, I believe, by the court to say the termination of this Biden-appointed commissioner holds up. It seems like there is a trend, for better or for worse, with the Supreme Court that the executive has a lot more control over the executive branch, and the independence of the administrative state is not as it's no more.
Well, there is a Supreme Court opinion regulating all this, but it came about in the early part of the FDR era when the administrative state was new, pristine, and pretty much recognized as a fourth branch of government, though not articulated anywhere in the Constitution. There are several members of the court who share my view that the administrative state is unconstitutional, and they may very well use this case to declare it as such. I doubt that it would be an outright declaration that it's unconstitutional, but it'll be something like the president can hire and fire whoever he wants in every administrative agency except for the Federal Reserve. They do not want to go near the Federal Reserve. Have you read the Supreme Court opinion finding the Federal Reserve constitutional?
No, I have not had the chance.
It doesn't exist. They have never agreed. They have never agreed to take the case. They're terrified of it because they know it's unconstitutional. I once had a conversation with Justice Scalia about paper money. And he said, well, we all know that paper money is unconstitutional. The Constitution itself says only gold or silver. But we'd never take the case. Can you imagine what would happen if we declared paper money unconstitutional? Same thing with the Fed.
Yeah, and it's something I was going on a bit of a rant, channeling, maybe not my Dr. Ron Paul. I was trying to be moderate with my inner David Stockman. Like, get rid of the dual mandate. Seriously, stop trying to set the price of money. Stop trying to be using the money printing to inflame or help encourage employment. Stop it. The central planner can't plan. And I would love to see a day where the courts actually had the stones, for lack of a better word, to actually take on some of these issues.
Well, there's no authority in the in the Constitution, one of the greatest speeches ever given. This is such a tragic event because of how it ends. One of the greatest speeches ever given in the Congress is James Madison's bank speech on the floor of the House of Representatives against the first national bank of the United States, proposed by Alexander Hamilton and George Washington. It is now, in those days, they didn't take down every word you said. They summarized what you said. It is a brilliant exposition of limited government, if ever there was one. Of course, the first national bank became law, and then it had a sunset clause, and it expired. 20 years later, Congressman James Madison was the president of the United States, and the second national bank had been passed by Congress. He vetoed it. Veto upheld. It passed a second time. He vetoed it. Veto upheld. In December of his last year of his second term, 3 months later, he would no longer be president. The Congress passed it a third time. He signed it into law. And the second national bank of the United States became the precursor of the Federal Reserve.
I love it. I love the history, though there is bad and worse and good and grand all throughout our complicated history. I want to leave you on this because there's a lot. The world keeps spinning after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I was one thing, though, taken aback that we have a sitting vice president who has converted to Roman Catholicism, talking about the kingship of Christ. I was also to have a Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, deliver what he did, the gospel in 90 seconds. I found that astounding. I had never seen something like that in my political life. I said yesterday that it's good that people's hearts are inflamed. It's very difficult, though, in the coming days, weeks, months, and years to come, how this will actually play out practically, and do we live up to the things we say? But what's your takeaway from seeing two Roman Catholics on a stage very unabashedly proclaiming their faith?
I didn't see them. I only watched Trump's speech, and the parts that he read from the teleprompter were brilliant and eloquent. The parts that he ad-libbed were reprehensible. How he could profess a love for Jesus Christ and then in the next breath say he hates his enemies and wishes them ill is beyond me. I thought they turned a memorial service into a political rally. I almost don't blame them, but it didn't appeal to me.
Fair enough. Well, and I always appreciate your time. If folks want to check out what you're looking into on your show, much to discuss on your show. How can
I have Scott Ritter this afternoon on everything, on Ukraine, on Israel, and on the coming war with Venezuela.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. And until next week, thank you.
All the best, Joey.
Again, folks, the one and the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time. Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me. How you doing today, sir?
Doing well, Joey. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, I suppose it's happy.
Should be.
It's a real happy day, right?
Yeah. I mean, getting personal, for me, this is sort of the father passed away 33 years ago. So this is
today.
This is always a tough day for me.
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, happens to all of us at some point.
You heard what Bobby Kennedy said about losing somebody like that, especially you being so young. And I was a little older, but I was still young, losing my mother. Bobby Kennedy's, I can't remember who first told him this advice, but it stuck with him forever. He said that hole in you, that loss of a parent in particular, never goes away, but it's our job to grow so strong and large around the hole. It's less of a proportion of who we are.
Right.
And it helps us understand the importance of that person.
It was hard for me passing the age that he was when he passed.
How old were you?
I was approximately 10.
10.
Brother was a little over 1.
I can't imagine, dude.
I mean, my line is, doesn't matter when you lose someone, it all hurts the same.
Oh, it does. And I think it does get better with time if you continue to grow. And I think in the reflection of your years, you gain different perspective for certain. Especially as you get to the age, maybe they were when they passed away.
Right.
You get closer and closer to that date, you realize how I still feel pretty young. And you start to realize, oh my God, what was going through their mind as they knew something was happening.
It was kind of a sobering experience, just from the standpoint of where I was in my life personally versus where he was. I mean, it was heavy, to say the least. But like you said, it doesn't define who we are. You grow, you learn from it, you try to comfort others during their loss and use the wisdom that you've accumulated because of it.
Yeah, it's not something that is, I'll put it this way, propositional. Like the people, at least in my experience, when I was having a really tough time, it was the people didn't say much, just gave you a hug or were just there for you. Especially when I was really in an ugly spot. Good friends who I wish I don't talk to them as much because, we don't live together and life goes on. My good friend Andrew, when I was in a really rough spot, he just was there for me. And it's that sort of thing where you start to realize the people you lose, the people that help support you when you really are down and out, that it's not all the stuff we say, though a kind word can go a long way and helps us understand this world better than if we didn't have our words. But it's beyond what you say. It has more to do with a relationship at the end of the day. And I mean that in terms of family, friendship, or with God himself.
Oh, even your faith. I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, having lost your mom. I mean, I spent a lot of time in prayer and having personal conversations with, the man upstairs. So I feel like I was tried. There were some moments I honestly lost, and if it wasn't for the father upstairs, I would have been lost.
Yeah.
So, and right now with I heard, one of the guys talking about how Erica would deal with, informing the kids when it was
Erica Kirk,
and all that, and it just resonated so strongly because it was, approaching the date and everything. And I mean, those kids are never going to have what they lost. And thank goodness that the man that they did lose, their father, has been memorialized in certain ways and lived his life in a certain way that they'll never be able to forget who he was.
Absolutely.
And that's a blessing for all of us, but especially them.
It is. And it's, like I said yesterday, all these words being shared in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, the trick is living up to.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that probably at the end of the day, you always fall short. But how'd you actually run that race?
Trying to run the race is important.
Yeah.
Getting at the starting line and actually putting one foot in front of the other and not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you use race because you are running against yourself. And that's where I think a lot of us find ourselves right now.
272-9228. Yeah, and this is kind of ripped off, like you see the drama and the tragedy and the senselessness of it, but then the response of the forgiveness and the people coming together, and how this has like sent out a shockwave. It's like energy being released as soon as Kirk was killed, to millions asking what could they do. And the trick is, how do we live up to these things?
What was the number of new Turning Point chapters that were requested?
You got up to 60-something thousand last I looked.
Nationally and internationally. Mm-hmm. And you had, I can't remember who's the record holder, highest IQ guy right now, but it's some Asian guy. And he's kind of said that he's going to take this message and what Charlie stood for and go open churches around the world in Jesus's name and in honor of Charlie.
Yeah. And it looks like, on the political side, the political legacy Kirk might be leaving is Turning Point USA has not published official voter registration data, but approximately 200,000 people registered for tickets for the memorial service in advance, and estimates report that there were 200 to 300,000 with overflow. On-site law enforcement corroborated these estimates. Given the scale of attendance, that could translate to thousands of new registrations, given the crowd size and focus on unregistered conservatives. Roughly 30% of U.S. Christians are unregistered. And
30%.
This is a group Kirk spent significant time and treasure to engage. Recent data show GOP voter registration gains in key states like Pennsylvania, where Republicans clocked in at plus 3,000 2020 3,022 net in the days following Kirk's assassination. The week ending in September 22nd is that period. This includes 1,756 Democrat to Republican switches. Wow. More than half of that gain were Democrats switching to Republicans, folks. Additionally, North Carolina and Arizona both outpaced prior months and linked the surge directly to the assassination and memorial. Matt Margolis of PJ Media remarked that some on the left celebrated the attack. That reaction has now triggered what is being called the Charlie Kirk effect, a historic wave of Democrats abandoning their party and joining the GOP. And, of course, as Erica Kirk publicly forgave her husband's killer, you started to see, I think, a true expression that was reaching even more people beyond just the political. And then you go to CNN's chief data analyst, Harry Enton. He broke down numbers from a new Washington Post Ipsos poll. So, this isn't like, conservative Rasmussen or anything. But the Washington Post Ipsos poll showing that Democrats are underwater on three major issues. These are not good issues to be underwater on. They're underwater on these three major issues: the economy, immigration, and crime. And isn't that what Trump continues to hammer home? Though the economy, I think, is one they're praying for better results. We'll see. But when asked which party is trusted more on the economy, Republicans had a 7-point lead. On immigration, an issue for which Democrats have demonized the Trump administration, Republicans are up 13 points. California's Democratic Speaker of the California State Assembly recently referred to ICE agents as quote-unquote secret police. And as for crime, blue city mayors and sanctuary state governors are under investigation for allegedly trying to falsify crime data in opposition to Trump's utilizing the National Guard in several cities. But of course, you got to look at independents. Independents in the poll favored Republicans by 1 point on the economy, 10 points on immigration, and 21 points on crime. Wow. The same poll leading into the 2022 midterms, which resulted in a 12-point lead on the economy for Republicans, a 3-point lead on immigration, and a 13-point lead on crime. Wow.
As good as those numbers sound, there is trouble there for the Republicans. I mean, with the economy amongst independents only being a 1-point cushion right now, it has to.
And that's all with, it's not, to me, spin. It's a matter of, do people actually feel it?
Right. And
at their level.
And everything else becomes secondary if the economy's not good. We all know that.
So there is a bit of a effect of we're seeing more and more of a shift. Now, again, how will this be lived out in the coming days? We shall see. In a second, we'll go to some of these UN clips from Trump and his speech to the General Assembly there at the United Nations. And, of course, we have a few other issues we want to jump to, including Kamala Harris going on a big media tour to support and promote her big new book about that campaign they ran.
What colors does it come with?
I don't even know. I didn't even look at. I just was listening to Wine Aunt Kamala cackle her way through these interviews, and I'm just amazed at why are you even doing this? You need to go away. You need to go away quickly. If I was a Democrat, it's I don't want to see your face. You're a big pathetic loser.
I mean,
you couldn't even beat the fascist. You couldn't even beat Cheeto Mussolini. You had everything handed to you by the corporate media and stuff. You couldn't even do basic interviews with friendly interviewers, let alone Brett Baer or Joe Rogan.
That's why I think it's a coloring book, man. There's no way it's a natural book.
It's crazy, but we'll get to some of that.
How many copies do you think it's pre-sold?
Oh, I have no clue. I mean, there's plenty of organizations that'll go out and buy it by the truckload to up those numbers. Yeah. But we've got plenty to get into. First, I got to hit a break. And this part of the program is brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell your property, your house here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market for over 50 years now. And he and the team are ready to help you not only with buying and selling your property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. And then the crown jewel there at the Goodson Group is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed and accredited real estate programs in the state of Alabama. You're learning from Bo's experience, a very interactive course, and it's a great way to study up to become a licensed agent or a more knowledgeable private player in the real estate market. So y'all check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsoncgroup.com or give them a call, 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of the program.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm Rob Lowe, and this is the Battle of the States.
The floor returns with All-American Duels on the season premiere, Fox Wednesday. Then,
It is the greatest competition in the history of mankind. It really is.
Aaron Andrews and Ken Jeong host the premiere of 99 to Beat for $1 million. Can you survive 99 other players?
And they're off.
In a series of seemingly simple games.
Know what it's like to unfreeze a pair of pants?
Wednesday on Fox 20.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-348-8569. 800-348-8569. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-348-8569.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first full day of fall, it's going to feel like a regular summer day with high temperatures back to the 90s again. I think we're in the mid-90s with plenty of sunshine today. Tonight's low around 70. Tomorrow's high in the middle 90s again. And the rain chances today and tomorrow are not zero, but very small. But important changes ahead. Showers and thunderstorms move into the state Wednesday night in the overnight hours, and the showers and storms will be likely on Thursday as a cool front swings through Alabama. So the prospects for rain look good, and some nice air behind that front. The first weekend of fall will feel great. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me. But before we go to national, I want to start local. But to get to local, we might have to start national, if that makes any sense. Because it does tie into this book tour Kamala Harris is doing. And we can get into it. Did she really say? Did Kamala? Did she really say Pete Buttigieg was just too gay for the time period? For the length of time? Like if they had a full year, he's the perfect amount of gay. But because they had to do it within 2 months, there's no way to convince people to vote for a gay guy. People will just start bringing that up. People are going to make all sorts of homophobic jokes. I'm not the homophobic one. It's just not enough time, and I can't sell this big old gay guy to the people.
I want to know how much is the appropriate amount of gay.
Well, Lindsey Graham's made quite a career, hadn't he?
Should ask the people of South Carolina.
Yeah. But before we get into all that, because that's really something she said. It's crazy. Very inartfully, which is just classic Kamala right there. Oh, sorry, that was the Xanax in the line. That was 9:00 at night. I'm sorry.
Let the liquor tell it.
Let's be honest, it was 10 in the morning at brunch over mimosas. And I say that. I've been there. I've done all the things. Not all the things, but I've done a lot of things. Not proud of it.
You're saying mimosas. It was probably more like screwdrivers.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
That too. I was never a Bloody Mary guy. Never was never my thing.
Depends on if you need the vitamins.
Like I've tried them and don't really like it. Yeah. Anyway.
It's like the alcoholic version of a salad.
But the reason we're going to go national to go local is because Kamala Harris on this book tour decided to bring up a local Alabama municipal race. Yeah. So how about this? Jeff Poor, I think, queued it up to the exact moment with Rachel Maddow. Let's listen in together.
Democrats have been very shy about his candidacy. They seem somewhat flummoxed by his success. As a sort
I think this is leading into talking about Zoran Mandami or whatever, as Trump says, my little communist. But asked about the little communist, Kamala says something else.
Talent spotter in the Democratic Party. Yeah. What do you think of him and his candidacy? And what do you think of mainline Democratic shyness and agitation about the prospect that he's going to win?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, he's the Democratic nominee and he should be supported.
Do you endorse his candidacy?
I support the Democrat in the race, sure. But let me just say this. He's not the only star.
Why are you such a weasel, woman?
She's just being a good Democrat, Joey.
Well, if you support him, just say it. Why do you I support Democrats and he's under the Democrat banner? It's like, that's not the question.
Well, they can't clip her saying I support Mandami and she doesn't say it.
Like, why are you even doing this media tour? Anyway, I don't know if I can take this, Byron. Let's keep going here.
I know that, he's in New York, and I know New Yorkers think they're the center of the world, and here we are in New York having this interview.
It is the biggest city in the country.
And I love New York, as the saying goes. I really do. But, there are people like Barbara Drummond in Mobile, Alabama, Helena Moreno in New Orleans. They're all running for mayor, too, and they are stars. So I hope that we don't so over-index on New York City.
So Mobile, Alabama, she wants us to care about.
There are people like Barbara Drummond in Mobile, Alabama.
So I thought our mayoral races were nonpartisan. Such crap.
Again, if you let the liquor tell it, they are.
Oh, it's such crap. I remember Stephen Reed's reelection because Trump came to town. Wisely, the Stephen Reed team was all like Donald Trump and his backers and
There's no such thing as
the big landowners want George Wallace to come and put you all back in chains. So is Barbara Drummond going to win with all this support from Kamala?
If she does, it'll be the first race Kamala's won in a long, long, long time.
And then there's an op-ed out where normally my op-ed comes out at Tuesday in the morning, but I was preempted by the El Jefe, which is fine. And it's now leading the site, which makes it even better. Because I was doing the whole thing about, God is love sort of thing. Yeah, what is the word, but this, I'm looking at this, the AEA's conservative Christian mass just slipped, writes Brian Dawson. Shall I read this?
Please do.
It is no secret that in Republican supermajority states, people from more liberal persuasions must pretend to be conservative so they can keep their grubby paws on the levers of power. Alabama is no exception. As a matter of fact, we might be the absolute embodiment of the rule. Due to this looming threat, it is imperative that conservatives in red states remain steadfast and vigilant, keeping the wolves in sheep's clothing who seek to steer our very conservative state to a more liberal progressive direction away from the centers of power. There are some glaring examples of this in our recent past. Mac McCutcheon, now the chairman of the Madison County Commission, was the Speaker of the House beginning in 2016 and oversaw the arm-twisting campaign to get the gas tax increase passed. He also pushed for legalization of marijuana, then gambling in 2021. He hired Democrat political consultant Steve Raby, who has operated as the de facto chief of staff of the Speaker's office from 2016 until today under current Speaker Nathaniel Ledbetter. One could argue that Raby, a Democrat, is the most powerful person in the state, writes Brian Dawson. How is it that we have a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat wielding this much power in the most conservative state in the nation with a Republican supermajority? Because liberals know that in order to seize power in a red state, they just have to pretend to be conservative. These are indeed wolves in sheep's clothing, echoing the cliches and talking points they need to secure the vote of the Trump voting Southern conservative, and then they go on to govern or legislate in a way that reflects who they really are. Perhaps the most egregious case of this is how conservatives have allowed the Alabama Education Association, the AEA, to have a stranglehold on the Republican Party. That's like finding out that Planned Parenthood became a significant GOP-supporting organization. It's oil and water. The AEA is the state-level affiliate of the godless, Christ-hating Marxist organization that is the National Education Association, whose apparent goal is to pervert and indoctrinate children with queer ideology and convince white children they are oppressors because of their skin color. The AEA used to run the state under Paul Hubbard and Joe Reed. They were the biggest power brokers in Alabama, and it wasn't even close. But then Governor Bob Riley neutralized the AEA's reign by making it so that dues couldn't be automatically withdrawn from teacher paychecks. The future of the AEA post-Riley was bleak. I remember when all that happened. Remember all this stuff?
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, where they stormed the State House?
About 20 plus years ago, a little bit.
Actually, there's a good book by that name by a guy named David Asbell. It's still around. Y'all should check it out.
I think I have a copy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book. Anyway, then the AEA did a rebrand in 2014, presenting themselves as a conservative organization, saying that since most teachers in the state are Republican, it would only make sense that they would be a conservative organization. They got a young conservative female to go around meeting with Republican legislators, handing out checks, giving them the talking points of why it was okay to take AEA money now, despite the ALGOP bylaw that said they shouldn't. This is the new gun-toting, Jesus-loving, Constitution-promoting AEA. We promise you can trust us. 1819 News exposed these campaign contributions in the last election cycle and was immediately hit with all the talking points about how the AEA had changed. We're no longer the communists they used to be. They promised. It was almost believable, but we knew better. Well, the Mobile mayoral race caused their conservative Christian mass to drop, writes Brian Dawson. The AEA pitched in $100,000 to Democrat Barbara Drummond. Isn't that the same? Isn't that who Kamala just was talking about with Rachel Maddow?
One and the same.
And here we are in New York having this interview. As the saying goes, I really do. But I mean, there are people like Barbara Drummond in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, so that it's the same person that the AEA just gave $100,000 to.
Also gave large sums of money to the Democrat in Little Rock, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Good old blue dots in southern red states.
Again, the AEA pitched $100,000 to Democrat Barbara Drummond, whose voting record would make the communists at the NEA proud. This woman has voted against a bill prohibiting gender identity or sexuality discussion in schools and against a bill defining gender based on biological sex. She voted no on Alabama House Bill 7, the Laken-Riley Act, which allows local law enforcement to partner with the federal government to enforce federal immigration laws. I could go on, writes Brian Dawson, on and on, but about a radical voting record on issues relating to public safety and woke nonsense. If this woman wins the election, Mobile will be Baltimore in a matter of months, and the AEA will have footed the bill for it. What do all the Republican legislators who take gobs of money from this organization think about this development? Let me repeat that question from Brian Dawson. What do all the Republican legislators who take gobs of money from this organization think about this development?
They don't. They're taking their gobs of money.
Dawson ends with this. I don't blame the AEA. Commie Marxists are going to do what commie Marxists do. But conservatives never should have taken the bait. AEA money should make a Republican candidate unelectable after this. Prove me wrong. Of course, Brian Dawson is CEO of 1819 News. So, yeah, the mayoral race is in Mobile. It's a heated one, getting national attention from Mamala herself.
Man.
While the AEA is funneling a bunch of money after they claim we're conservatives.
If the Republicans turn out, it shouldn't even be close. But I'm afraid that there's some apathetic conservatives, and it's going to be a little bit tighter than it should be. But I agree with Brian 100%.
Yeah, I think that was well said, sir. Well said, indeed. And by the way, the second leading story there at 1819 News, Alabama Democrats defend Shamari Figures and Terry Sewell's no votes against bipartisan National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. Of course, falsely accusing Kirk of being, quote-unquote, a racist.
Who defended them?
This is the official account of the Alabama Democratic Party.
Okay, for some reason.
That's how they call themselves. I think it's actually Alabama Democrat Party is the correct way to say it. I don't know why they keep adding the ick. Though maybe the ick is fitting.
No, the ick actually sells it to the masses. The dumb masses who can't differentiate between Democrat and Democratic.
Here's what the Alabama Democrats said on their official page on Facebook on Sunday, the day Kirk was being memorialized. Quote, expecting 2 black Congress members from Alabama, one of whom her mother was Selma's first black city councilwoman, the other, his father, fought the Ku Klux Klan, to honor a man who promoted racism and the Great Replacement theory, is wildly entitled and absurd. Kirk's killing can be condemned without a resolution that attempts to legitimize and elevate the stance of someone who thought less of them and millions of others because of the color of their skin. Hey, Alabama Democrats are full of crap.
All the Democrats are full of
Y'all
crap.
are no, in particular, the Alabama Democrats are full of crap. Y'all are pathetic losers. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that literally. You're pathetic losers. You can't win a race straight up. You got all sorts of legal tricks. You got all sorts of media tricks. You got all sorts of tricks. Especially guilting people and trying to guilt people over things they didn't even do and don't even believe. You're frauds. You're pathetic losers.
Liars on top.
Lying pathetic losers.
Liars.
We don't hate you because of the color of your skin. We hate you because of your crappy ideas and your own sense of entitlement and your own absurd demands. We're tired of it. But Sewell issued a statement that said, in part, in a clear effort to further divide Americans and members of Congress, unfortunately, the resolution House Republicans brought to the floor today included divisive language glorifying the viewpoints of that Charlie Kirk espoused. She went on to detail statements that have been fact-checked and proven to be false and misleading, saying Charlie Kirk called the passage of the Civil Rights Act a mistake. He has repeatedly disparaged the accomplishments of African Americans and insulted our intelligence. He said blacks were actually better off in the 1940s. They committed less crimes. Could you give the full context? Damn it! We can't have an honest conversation. We cannot have an honest conversation. And so what? Let division be our word. Let it be our word. We can have a peace, but it's going to be very negative indeed. Very negative. You are liars.
Joey, and you know this, in their eyes, there can be no peace. I know you know this.
Liars. As a black woman and the representative of our nation's civil rights district, I cannot vote to celebrate an ideology that runs counter to the values that so many of our fellow Alabamians fought, bled, and died for. Of course, Shamari Figures did not post about the resolution on social media or issue a statement on his website. According to AL.com, in a statement given to them in which he also condemned the killing, he said, "I cannot support a resolution that includes language that honors the leadership and legacy of a man whose ideology and words consistently demeaned, disrespected, and ridiculed black people." Is that a unique sin? Could you demean, disrespect, and ridicule black people and possibly not be a racist? How many black people demean, disrespect, and ridicule black people?
Besides rappers?
Or especially if, black people have the wrong politics. People died in Alabama in pursuit of equal treatment in the form of a Civil Rights Act that he called a mistake. He referred to Martin Luther King Jr. as an awful person and repeatedly insulted the intelligence of black women, said that black people were better during Jim Crow, and even used his platform to encourage an amazing patriot to bail out of jail the man who broke into the home of a member of Congress and beat her husband nearly to death with a hammer. All of this, if you actually look at the context of what Kirk said, is just false, defamatory, and crap. And there is this special thing that happens, and I'm a little tired of hearing it. As a black woman, as black people, oh, really? How about you're like every other person? We are equal in the eyes of God, and y'all are just as prone to sin as anybody else. This special moral currency, this moral blackmail, this guilting of usually liberals who have, especially some of these liberal men who don't need drugs or surgery to transition. Their penis is already crawled back up inside them. But if we guilt people and we constantly point to the 60s and stuff, yeah, your best work was in the 60s. You are the inheritors of a legacy. What have you done with it? What have you done with it other than spend most of the moral currency? There's a clip that keeps making the rounds. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about culture stuff, culture, entertainment, what people value. But what I take this guy to say has much more to do with leaders, so-called civil rights leaders today, so-called political leaders for Democrats, and in particular, black Democrats today. Y'all are the ones acting a fool. This was almost a quarter of a century ago. You ever seen the show The Boondocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think Aaron Magruder is conservative. Though he can have, say, contrary points of view from the mainstream, like any good satirist or artist should. This is what he had to say 23, 22, let's just call it a quarter century ago. This is about the turn of the century.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up.
Well, 20 years ago.
White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people or not hating black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool? They're going to talk to you? Yeah, right.
Well, and the guy who did talk to y'all killed him. and then you spit on his grave and call him a damn dirty racist. You compare him to George Wallace. You've overdrafted the moral currency built up. And if you actually had the time to listen to Charlie Kirk's points, which you won't, because you're brainwashed or whatever it is, or it's a belief thing, and we're going to talk past one another. Charlie's point is that after the civil rights movement, why didn't things get better? Not in terms of the discrimination. In fact, he said many a times, he said, I think it should just be one page. You can't discriminate on the basis of race in American society. It's gone on to justify in court that, well, we have to cut off this 15-year-old girl's breasts. It's the civil rights issue of our time. She doesn't think she's in the right body. And then let her play in girl sports.
Let him play.
And it's not that big of a deal because it doesn't affect, it's only hundreds of titles now at this point. Won by men pretending to be one. All that's done under the banner of civil rights. All of it. Kirk's point is, why didn't it get better? Why are black folks per capita not as wealthy as they were? Under a racist regime, a systematic racist regime called Jim Crow. Having to put up with the Klan. In spite of all that awful, vehement racism and violence, official from the state and unofficially by the population, how were those folks doing better off economically? When you talk about family formation, which has affected all races since the Great Society was instilled, but in particular the black community. But y'all just wave your hand and you go, well, I already assume like the bigots you are. So you can be bigoted about assuming other people's bigotry. But if you want to keep pushing this and say this is what Charlie Kirk was, you've overdrafted the account. And when I hear something like that from 20 years ago, I don't think of the hip hop star. I don't think of the athlete. I don't think of the young men, the lost souls, for some reason, who have it in their minds that the only way to make it in this world is to kill one another. How screwed up does a child's environment have to be? How screwed up does a child's moral teaching have to be to feel so desperate that that's the only way in this world? That's not who I'm thinking of. I'm not sitting up here like Dr. King waving my finger at rock and roll publicly. What I'm waving my finger at, people acting like a damn fool, are the elected officials here from the Democratic Party in Alabama. You're a bunch of lying, pathetic losers. I say that not as an insult, but as an accurate description of how you continue to act in the public eye. And if you keep acting this way, you will continue to lose. And you will lose more than you have lost in the last few decades because we're done. You're bankrupt. Get in line. We all feel broke. We all feel under siege. We all feel wronged, like the system is against us, like the very world is against us. We all feel that way in one form or fashion. Get in line. And if we could stand shoulder to shoulder and row in the same direction on the same boat, God willing, that would be amazing. But instead, we're going to continue down this road, apparently. Tired of it. Really tired of it. When I go about my day-to-day life talking to individuals, it's fine. I genuinely do wish everybody well. But I'm really tired of the lies.
I'm tired of trying to feel like I have to participate in their game, the puppetry.
Yeah.
And when someone stands up and makes an accurate a song.
But real quick, before you make a point, we do have to hit the. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
We're up against the top of the hour break because I've ranted enough. But what's also interesting is you cowards can't make the argument. Cowards. You can't have a conversation. If you're so good, if you're so morally superior, if you have such insights, call, have a conversation, but you can't do it. And the guy that did that made a life about it, inspired millions by doing that. He's shot down, and you spit on his grave and call him George Wallace. Screw y'all. Division will be the word. You know what? That's not the worst thing in the world. Division that's honest is a hell of a lot better than the fake kumbayas that are constantly used to shove your crappy policies down our throats. We're tired of it. We're not doing it anymore.
Here.
You are bankrupt. You have overdrafted that account. Maybe join the club that we all fall short. That suffering is universal. And that the reckoning that will come will never be politically. The promised land will never be here on earth necessarily, not as the earth currently stands. It'll be somewhere else. As for the politics, I'm done. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. In New York, President Trump has addressed the United Nations General Assembly. He devoted a portion of his remarks to criticism of so-called green energy initiatives, saying Europe's commitment to green energy has created high energy costs, contributing to more than 175,000 heat-related deaths. In Fort Pierce, Florida, a man representing himself in federal court against charges of trying to assassinate Donald Trump last year at his Florida golf course has told jurors he didn't intend to kill anyone that day. Jurors have begun deliberating the charges against Ryan Ruth, who says he could have shot Mr. Trump or a Secret Service agent if he intended harm. Ruth has pleaded not guilty to the charges. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 50 points, the NASDAQ down 151 now. This is SRN News.
Is the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians the revival of an ancient conflict recorded in the Bible?
The nation of Israel is a resurrected nation. So what if there was going to be a resurrection of another people, an enemy people of Israel?
Dinesh D'Souza's new film, The Dragon's Prophecy, offers new understanding of October 7th, Israel, radical Islam, anti-Semitism, and biblical prophecy. Can the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be tied to this place?
We came back to a land that was largely barren and empty, and we brought it back to life, and we're going to keep it.
The dragon will not prevail.
Based on Jonathan Cahn's international bestseller, Dinesh D'Souza's new film, The Dragon's Prophecy, is in theaters October 6th and 8th. Streaming and DVDs available October 9th. See the trailer and order your streaming or DVD at thedragonsprophecyfilm.com. Thedragonsprophecyfilm.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first full day of fall, it's going to feel like a regular summer day with high temperatures back to the 90s again. I think we're in the mid-90s with plenty of sunshine today. Tonight's low around 70. Tomorrow's high in the middle 90s again. And the rain chances today and tomorrow are not zero, but very small. But important changes ahead. Showers and thunderstorms move into the state Wednesday night in the overnight hours, and the showers and storms will be likely on Thursday as a cool front swings through Alabama. So the prospects for rain look good, and some nice air behind that front. The first weekend of fall will feel great. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories.
Montgomery's mayor and police chief held a news conference Monday regarding recent deadly violence in the city. 5 people were murdered over the weekend in Montgomery. Mayor Reed and Chief Gerbois both said the murders were isolated incidents involving poor conflict resolution. Tuskegee University has announced a historic fundraising initiative. The institution will embark on a $300 million campaign to expand its academic programs and revitalize the college facilities. With $168 million already donated to the initiative, the school hopes to reach its $300 million goal by June of 2030. The new Elevation Hotel and Convention Center is set to open on October 1st. The 8th-floor hotel overlooking downtown is located at 600 Montgomery Street, site of the long-abandoned Hilltop Arms Apartments. Some of the hotel's first guests will include world-renowned musicians Branford Marsalis and Yo-Yo Ma, who will perform a special concert on October 11th. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hello, this is David Ernest with Ernest Financial. And just like Ernest Financial makes lots of money for our clients, Blue Water has helped us make lots of money for our company. You cannot go wrong with advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
Don't miss the Capco Warehouse Sale for 2 days only, this Thursday and Friday from 8 till 5. Visit our sale location on the Wetumpka Highway for incredible savings on home decor, floral arrangements, seasonal items, including Christmas trees, wreaths, ornaments, and much, much more. After you shop the warehouse sale, be sure to stop by the Capco Outlet store for even more savings. Huge savings at 2 locations, 2 days only. Capco Outlet and the Capco Warehouse Sale this Thursday and Friday from 8 till 5.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Just watching video of the escalator stopping when Trump stepped on it. What in the world was that? That almost seems like there's somebody behind the scenes hitting a button.
That might be Macron hitting a button, because you saw the clip where Macron kind of got held up by Trump's motorcade, and he called the president like, "Hey, can you get these city cops here on the corner to let me through?" And he was like, "Nah, you just gonna have to walk." Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Anyway, let's go to the phones. Talk to Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing?
Hey, Mr. Clark, I'm great. And you, sir?
Ah.
That good, huh?
No, I'm tired of the lying.
Well,
I'm tired of the lying that's believed like it's gospel. Tired of it.
Let's talk about what Alexander Solzhenitsyn said about the lies. So let's see. But violence ages swiftly. A few years passes, and it is no longer sure of itself. To prop itself up, to appear decent, it will, without fail, call forth its ally, lies. For violence has nothing to cover itself with but lies, and lies can only persist through violence. And it is not every day and not on every shoulder that violence brings down its heavy hand. It demands of us only a submission to lies, a daily participation in deceit, and this suffices as our fealty. Now, I think he pretty much, if you'll sit and study on that, he's nailed it.
Yeah.
You asked why couldn't the left come and just have a reasoned discussion? Because they cannot win in a reason. That's not an arena that they can win in. If they could, they would, but they can't. And so they have to resort to violence. And the thing is, truth does not need violence. Truth can do just fine by itself. If a position requires violence, it's a lie. Any religion that you can't question anything about it.
Well,
and they become violent, it's predicated on lies.
Well, you're now about to bring out my inner almost anarchist libertarian. All governments are based on force, so they're all based on a lie of some sort.
Well, you know, if we would love the Lord our God with all our heart and all our soul and do what the second commandment says, which is love our neighbor as we love ourselves, we'd probably get along without a government. But we ain't been able to live up to that.
No, governments exist in a fallen world of sin. I get it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I just, as you're going through it, I'm like, yeah, it's a good description of government.
Well, so the best government for the people is the government closest to the people. And therefore, the less centralized government is, the better off the people are. The more centralized it is, the worse off we are. But there that is. That's why they don't want to call and have a reasoned discussion or debate you, because they know they can't win.
Well, and also I think they can smell that, honestly, I'm not really interested in talking to people operating in bad faith or already have their bigoted minds made up about me.
Well, anybody on the left that would like to debate me, they never want to play the game twice.
Don't mess with your local veterinarian.
There it is. Don't play this game with me. Keep doing what you do. I enjoy it.
Appreciate it, Clark.
Thanks, Clark.
272-9228. Let's, before we go to Cameron, tell folks that this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you with any and all of your plumbing issues. Could be a simple thing like a faucet that just keeps on dripping. That ain't fun. Toilet that just keeps on running. Especially in the middle of the night, it's right there off your bedroom, and you just keep.
And it's costly too.
Yeah, I know. Or it could be like the drain's clogged. And you tried. You tried with the finger. You tried with some chemical. You tried, and it's just still clogged.
I wrenched it. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, right. And it's like, well, I think I got to snake it. Okay. What you need to do is call Cole Plumbing. They can help you with that. And of course, they can help you with a big deal like a gas line leak, or maybe you have a tree root invasion or major water leak inside or outside your home. They have this proprietary pipelining technology that will allow them to fix that problem with precision expertise. It means they're not going to have to dig up a huge hole in your yard, dig out a bunch of drywall inside your home to find the issue. No, again, with precision expertise, they can solve that for you. And of course, they can always help you upgrade to something like a tankless water heater system, maybe a taller toilet, or just new accessories in the bathroom or kitchen. Y'all check them out today. Again, that's Cole Plumbing. You can always make an appointment, get in touch with them online at coleplumbing.com. Or give them a call, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole.
Let's go to Cameron. Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. You know me, in my backyard.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've been listening to your show, as always. It's so wonderful to be able to learn and then feel what you're saying. So I appreciate the emotion with which you were talking about earlier. But when we think about the Gordian knot, it pointed towards simplicity. Leonardo da Vinci said simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. You know, we're still obviously missing Charlie, but think about the book he pointed to. You can read the Gospels in just a couple hours. Mark is the shortest one. You can read that in about an hour and a half. It's a good, very sharp, quick read.
Mm-hmm.
The Gospel of Matthew has the most words of Christ. Not that it makes it more important, but you'll see why Charlie kept pointing back to the Word as you read through how Jesus talked to the people of his day. And it's just interesting. There's a passage in Luke, but I can't pull it up exactly what it is. Sorry about that. But Jesus healed somebody, and it says in there it drove them mad, the religious leaders of the day. It drove them mad. So all the lies and the talk and everything are people scrambling for power because they don't understand where the power truly is.
Well said. Well said, Cameron.
It's a shame. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for letting me on the air.
Thank you, sir. 272-9228. Yeah, I've been fuming about this for several days, especially seeing the reactions to Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's like you said,
that's
man,
the world we live in.
People will show themselves. Just pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Keep receipts.
And one thing I find amazing is I am able to entertain ideas I don't agree with. Think I agree with all the stuff Judge Napolitano says?
No.
Think I agree with all the stuff everybody I bring on the show says?
And I don't see you carrying a handgun around with you right now, so
No.
I appreciate it.
But there are some folks, if you touch them in certain ideas that they consider sacred, they will be very upset with you.
Oh,
They can't even entertain the possibility that there might be an alternative.
And say some nasty things.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason you'd say that because XYZ. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep on assuming it, you stupid, cowardly bigots. Anyway, let's go to a stupid ass person.
Kamala?
Real stupid ass. Kamala.
Back at it.
Kamala Harris. And I say stupid ass. I think during the campaign I was calling her a fake ass puppet because she's not her own woman. And it still comes across this way. You'd think after losing that way that you might
go back to the drawing board.
And like, you know, I'm free from these strings. I can just kind of be myself and all this stuff. Like this is a tell-all, right? And we'll just air it all out.
Here's what I learned.
Just air it all out. Just open it up, air it all out. And that way, once we get through the stank, we can all, as Democrats, come together, coalesce together and find a way forward. And yet the presentation is still just so it's not fake ass puppet anymore. It's just stupid ass. Let's listen in to Kamala Harris explain the whole I did not pick Pete Buttigieg. Tongue twister there. I did not pick Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg. I did not pick the gay guy because he was too gay within the frame of time. I'm not saying I'm against gay people. I'm saying other people are against gay people. And if I had a year, I could have sold the gay guy being super duper gay. But because we had a limited time frame, because Joe Biden wanted to run and then he failed and I'm thrown into this thing, I only had a small window to sell the gay guy. So I didn't have time to put up with all the gay stuff.
The irony in this, to be Joe, is she ended up picking someone who was even gayer than Buttigieg.
Yeah. It's like the end of Blazing Saddles. Throw out your hands, stick out your touch. Tim Walz. Anyway, here's Kamala being asked about this by Rachel Maddow.
I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
With you running as, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a Black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president. To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay, it's hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said.
No. So she, especially as a Black woman and a South Asian woman, you of all people should understand what it's like to be a white gay guy.
I love how she got serious. She moved that little hair behind her ear for a moment. No,
God.
Rachel, here's what I said.
Like, even your own philosophy is crap. What is, seriously? But no. I wasn't saying, let's hear that again. That's quite a setup by Matt.
As you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president. To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay, it's hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay.
All right, that's
My
not what I said.
point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor,
Right.
to be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
What?
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part.
It's not just about sex.
That
we had such a short period of time.
All right. You buying this?
That he didn't bring any new voters to the table. She's actually almost flipping up.
But she says it's because he's gay. Like, being a black woman, like, that's why Maddo asked the question. She says in her book, like, we had only 107 days and I'm the first black woman ever running, and like, I've already got a lot of folks out there that we know are really misogynistic and like really racist, so I can't afford bringing on all the homophobes along with the misogynists and the racists, even though we kind of call the same people all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying the same thing. There's a delta between.
It's not her hatred of and dislike or like alienation from gay people. It's like, and it's probably not even the right wingers, because the right wingers were going to vote for her anyway.
Exactly.
Because they're so racist and misogynist anyway. Right. And nothing to do with their policies and the fact that she couldn't spit out a sentence without sounding like she was 2 bottles in.
Yes.
Stupid ass. Seriously.
The standard bearer, though. I mean,
but it wasn't her. It's not her own homophobia, and it's not even the homophobia of the right wing that she's worried about, because they're not voting for her anyway, because they're racist and misogynistic. Take your pick. I'm just using left wing thinking here, folks. So so what I'm worried about is my own voters, independents, and people in the Democratic base that I'm worried about their homophobia.
Yes.
That I can't sell a gay man as a black and Southeast Asian woman. I can't sell a gay man to my own constituency.
I'm not a good enough saleswoman to sell all this package with the alcoholism, the just not very, or being a very good senator, all this. Like, I can't add Pete to.
I wonder if there was a call
from Barry.
No, behind the scenes from Kamala to Pete Buttigieg. It was like, Pete,
can you be less guy?
Because there's plenty of gay folks that get elected by Democrats, including black Democrats, but there's a thing they do. Pete, have you ever tried being closeted? We might be able to pull this off in 107 days if you become closeted.
Take that toothpaste and put it back in the tube, Pete.
Right, and if you divorce Chasten, then like a lot of folks will be like, we've all been through divorces. I mean, half of us have. It's a coin flip.
See, that she could sell.
Yeah, but you got to be closeted. Could you do that for
or at
us?
least a divorce gay guy.
Right.
It's not just about sex.
Right. It's not. It had everything to do with the. There's more to this. Let's see if she gets better in her explanation.
And the stakes were so high.
Yeah.
I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant.
Yep.
And I think America is and would be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, you know, and maybe I was being too cautious. You know, I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made. And I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that. With a great deal of sadness about also the fact
that you lost like a pathetic loser who lies to us. It is sad for you. Your deepest sadness was so many of ours, profound happiness. So it wasn't, and she said, I think America's ready for that. Like a gay president.
Just not a gay and a drunk in the office at the same time.
I mean, we got an out and proud lion as Treasury Secretary. Then we got our little worm from South Carolina. Hey, Republicans, I'm Lindsey Graham, and I love women. I had my best friends with women, pen pals.
Do all my shopping with them.
Right. I write sonnets. I'm gonna stop there. I could keep going, but seriously. So she said America is ready, but then it was I had 2 weeks to decide this. So then I guess I was overly cautious about what? But you couldn't sell it. How about Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
He would have been a hell of a lot better than the governor of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, just looking as a guy, like, you know what? I don't really care who wins. Just looking as a guy, I would have gone with Josh Shapiro or Pete Buttigieg over Tim Walz all day, every day. All day, every day. I don't care that Pete's gay. He isn't creepy in the same way that Tim Walz is creepy.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good vet.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I don't know what that was. So that's the first explanation.
That was desperation.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know. That it's such a. I think she thought it was a throwaway line in the book, and she's just thinking like a political operative, like black woman, gay guy.
Yeah.
Let's just do black woman,
weird, creepy old white dude,
neutered guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who dances like he's in a musical from the 70s. Yeah, we saw the same thing, that Norm Macdonald sketch.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's like, that was Tim Walz, like half the time. Yeah, maybe like that was the deal with Tim. It's like, Tim, I'll let you be my VP, but you got to be closeted. Like, and Pete didn't take that deal. Good God, man. Like, it's so, the whole thing is so stupid too. Like the obsession, the idolatry of weird characteristics to individual identity. Like, you're more than your sex or your sexuality or your race or even your politics. You're more than this.
Yeah, but
what's wrong with you?
Don't tell them. Let them keep living on that island. Because if they ever get smart and start tacking back to the economic side and trying to
like the
touch on
healthcare stuff too,
some of that populist rhetoric, then they might actually get a gain or two here or there. So just let them keep living in woke identity land.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Yeah. Hey, guys. And I hope I'm not going to duplicate what y'all said because I had to go out and come back in, so I might miss something. But here, to me, this is Tim, by the way, is another prime, hey, guys, is another example of just their dishonesty. All she had to do in answering to that question, say, look, here's the deal. We had 107 days to promote and progress the Democratic position. And all I did was I chose who I thought America would be acceptable at this time, and that's what I did. Wrong choice, good choice. And so if she had done that, I think people would have respected that a lot more than all this other garbage verbiage that she was saying.
Right. And like apparently the View had to cut to commercial. She was doing so bad. We'll get to that clip in a second. It's like, okay, whatever, y'all. It goes from me being angry to me just being like, this is comical.
She's doing
no kidding.
Y'all ever seen those videos of like, appreciate it, Tim, those videos of like what look like Buddhist monks almost, or like Hindu priests or whatever? They're Asian of some sort. And I think it's more kind of the northern part. So it's more looking like Korean, Japanese, Chinese, these sorts of things. And they have the thing where they have the board.
Mm-hmm.
They have like just like a slim board. Like what? Like a 2x1 or something like that? Like not even a lot, like just, and they take the board and it's fashioned in a certain way, or they just hit themselves over and over again in the balls.
Nah.
You hadn't seen that? Yeah, where it's like a thing these guys do. It's like, it's a sort of ascetic training mechanism. It's like self-flagellation that old monks used to do, or they'd whip themselves.
Yeah.
No, this is like you hit yourself over and over again in the balls. No, I'm just thinking those videos came back up as I was thinking about the Democratic
The
Party
clown
at this
car
moment.
that is the Democrat Party.
Right, just kicking themselves in the nuts
Play
and
Rochambeau
expecting
with
folks to
yourself.
take pity on them. It's like, boy, you kicked yourself there. You can do what you want. I don't know why you keep doing it. It sure is funny, though. I ain't voting for you. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. Maybe that's what the Democrats need, a big old shot in the ass of testosterone. Seriously. I know some of y'all are out there. Like, I tried to believe that there are some young men out there who are more liberal leaning who are like, I'm going to take over the reins here. But, you know, given the conversation we were just listening into, I kind of see why y'all are keeping your head down. That said, Montgomery Men's Health can help you out, fellas. If you just don't feel yourself, if you feel tired, sluggish, not like yourself, and the mistake is assuming it's part of aging. Like you're never in the mood. Your sleep patterns are all off. You're getting more weight around the middle, losing muscle mass. This all can signal low testosterone. And at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help you out. No guesswork, no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. They're not going to throw a bunch of generic things at you. They're going to sit down, meet with you, do a blood draw and a consultation. And the urologists and providers at Montgomery Men's Health will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And of course, it's affordable and accessible. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. Gentlemen, you only got one life. Procrastination is only going to make this worse. And that's especially true. Like guys start losing testosterone as they get into their 40s, 50s, and 60s. But if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, and you feel this way, you just feel generally like crap, you need to get by Montgomery Men's Health. Do not wait. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Sheila Davis, whose family owns Davis Cafe on North Decatur Street here in Montgomery. Sheila, how easy was it to transfer your prescriptions over from a big box store?
Jim, it was very easy and comfortable. It wasn't hard at all, like steps 1, 2, 3. Just that easy.
Sheila, I know you go to the Adams Drugs on Adams Avenue. Tell me about your customer experience at Adams Avenue.
My customer experience at Adams Avenue was wonderful. The whole staff is wonderful. It's very hard for me to get out and to get my medicine. Adams Drugs has a wonderful delivery service that delivers my medicine to me on time, prompt, and whenever I run out, he's there on time.
Please come into Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs, your local independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first full day of fall, it's going to feel like a regular summer day with high temperatures back to the 90s again. I think we're in the mid-90s with plenty of sunshine today. Tonight's low around 70. Tomorrow's high in the middle 90s again. And the rain chances today and tomorrow are not zero, but very small. But important changes ahead. Showers and thunderstorms move into the state Wednesday night in the overnight hours, and the showers and storms will be likely on Thursday as a cool front swings through Alabama. So the prospects for rain look good, and some nice air behind that front. The first weekend of fall will feel great. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me. Before I forget, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, they are a full-service jewelry shop ready to help you across the board, from custom design work to great inventory selection from high-end to everyday jewelry items, repair work they can do, and also spa treatments. So maybe it's a piece of jewelry you wear all the time. You'd like to have it shine and shimmer like it's brand new again, so you can keep on wearing it in the years ahead. They can do that for you. Of course, they can do even battery replacement on watches. They buy old jewelry. They'll do appraisals. And I'm looking at their Facebook page right now, and Josh the Jeweler, I like that. Josh Ryder helped this client design a one-of-a-kind engagement ring and wedding band. This future fiance has a love of the mountains, so we made a mountain with a princess-cut diamond in the peak. Then made the snow cap for the mountain as the matching diamond wedding band. And they're asking today, what can Josh the Jeweler help you create? If you want to see this custom design piece, truly unique, truly beautiful, I hope that fiance is blown away, because, I mean, if somebody put that ring on my finger, I mean, that's a hypothetical, but I'd be impressed.
It's easy to be impressed with Josh work.
Like, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. It really does. That's so cool, looking like a mountaintop.
He's selling himself short, not calling himself an artist.
He really is an artist, truly an artist. That guy is Josh Ryder. So y'all get by Dylan Rings today. Again, they're a full-service jewelry shop, can help you with any and all of your jewelry needs. That's 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you. So here's another clip from the Rachel Maddow interview with stupid-ass Kamala Harris. Let's listen in.
Order today having, we've got the president describing Antifa, the anti-fascist, it's not even really a movement, the anti-fascist tactics of a portion of the protest movement as a domestic terrorist organization.
No, it's not even really an organization. It's just tactics.
Never mind.
That's how it's being framed.
Never mind the .org.
Right. Well, let's keep going here. Let's listen in.
What is your reaction to those things? What do you think the appropriate response is to things like that?
Well, in normal times, we should and could expect that our courts would step in when asked to declare the legality or illegality of what the president is doing, because Civics 101, we all know we designed our democracy through three co-equal branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the courts.
We've also now in an executive order.
Wait,
today
that was the answer? That was the answer? Like a drunken version of Schoolhouse Rock? That was the answer?
That's splice or cut.
That's not a good answer. Wow. I would highly recommend Andy No. No is spelled N-G-O. Andy N-G-O. Andy No. He's been on top of the Antifa phenomenon in this country going back for years. It's a New York Times bestseller. The book is called Unmasked: Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy. At one point, many moons ago, he was literally running for his life, being chased down the streets, I believe, of Portland. Yeah, they beat the crap out of him, and he kept running. And no, but it's just tactics of a larger movement, because that's not a movement, that's not an organization. So what exactly are you worried about? If it's not an organization, but they declared this thing a terrorist organization, what is the thing this is what Biden did on the debate stage? It's not a real thing.
Those aren't real people.
It's just like there's a book and stuff, and there's ideas and stuff out there, but it's not a real. Well, man, y'all have I'm charitable enough to believe maybe y'all have nothing to do with it, but the way y'all are talking, it sounds like they're your shock forces, that you're in league with these people, that it's an inside-outside game, that we are all about kumbaya and unity and bringing people together, but if we don't get what we want, we destroy things in public on the streets. But it's just it's tactics. It's not an organization. What's that? Come on. Stop being so gay, Pete Buttigieg. I would have picked you for VP. Can we get off Kamala Harris for a second?
Please.
And go to Trump? Okay, this is Trump's big autism announcement yesterday. Honestly, I don't know. But this comes across as really dumb. I don't know. Maybe they were onto something here. This is right after Trump really had a trouble with, as he's reading out his statement, and you can see Bobby Kennedy behind him, who wanted to make this announcement in a very official way, in official language. Trump's just, I don't really care, just stumbling through it, just getting through it. And what we found is a set of and you can hear Bobby Kennedy behind him. Acetaminophen. Is that good enough, Bobby? Is that good enough?
Well, the dude doesn't take Tylenol.
Let's listen in.
Acetaminophen.
Is
that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol. During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
And he just kept going on and on before Bobby or any other of the secretaries could get up there saying, just don't take Tylenol. And I mean, if you have a really bad fever, if you're not tough enough, if the woman's not tough enough and she's got to take the Tylenol, she's got to take the Tylenol. But you don't take it. You can tough it out.
I'm just going to say it's bad.
It's bad. So apparently taking Tylenol during pregnancy has a correlation or association with autism. I don't pretend to be a scientist that understands all the actual ways that work. But that's what they were saying yesterday. Part of me is like, how much Tylenol are pregnant women taking?
Can we get one of those scientist people to tell us about that?
And they're also, I could try to find the Jay Bhattacharya clip. It's a little better. Bobby Kennedy's a little better. They're tough to listen to. Dr. Mehmet Oz, you can tell that guy used to be on TV. He gave quite a rip-roaring statement, but he was just repeating what the first four guys ahead of him said. Just in his, hey, I'm Dr. Oz. How you doing today? What we found is when mothers are pregnant, they take Tylenol, kids end up with autism on the spectrum. So we got to stop that. Hey, and if your kid, after he or she is born, after they're born, don't give them a bunch of Tylenol. Tell the kid to tough it out. Sport, just a fever. That seems, maybe. I mean, because Tylenol is so prevalent and is kind of the go-to headache medicine and cold medicine and like fever medicine for a lot of folks. But
I'd love to see the study or see how they pin this to acetaminophen. Like you said, there's so many people. How do you have an isolation or control on something?
No,
like that?
I don't buy that it's just genetic. I think them asking the question, and that's what they did say, that this is just preliminary. This is the first thing. We're not going to wait. We're just going to say this now. There's more we're working on, was their point. To me, it kind of sounds like Trump wanted to put something out there, or maybe he really does think Tylenol's bad. Tylenol's really bad. So I buy that you should ask the question, why this a massive uptick in autism from like 1 in 10,000 to like 1 in 30. Crazy. And that's not just like better testing methods and more diagnoses. Like there's something else going on that's triggering this and presenting this in folks.
Maybe whatever quadruple times the Tylenol use. I mean, like, you would think that there would be some correlation or causation that they could show here.
But here's Trump. This is after all the speeches. He's asked a question by folks in the press, as he normally does. Let's listen in.
For a shot of like an Ozempic or I call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends that fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me. But
Oh my God, that made my day. I got a lot of fat friends.
Hold on, let's back it up just a little bit here. We gotta see that again.
call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me.
I had a lot of friends, they're fat.
I lost some weight. You don't look it. You must have got divorced.
So I don't know about the Tylenol thing. I really don't. If we want to take it seriously, I thought Jay Bhattacharya was pretty good on this. They had some mothers who have been activists working on this a while. Their presentations were a little more. Trump is give a damn. It's been broken for years, but in particular, he's getting the old man mannerisms, like the whispering and the meandering on purpose. Thank God he's still him. Like, we don't have a Biden situation just yet. But you can start to tell he is slowing down a little bit.
I mean, to your point about how involved he was in this announcement, on your list of things that, if you're president, if you're looking down on your list of things to do today,
I know.
Tackle terrorism, stop Antifa.
Right. I got a UN speech tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Telling pregnant women to cut down on the Tylenol. I don't know how jazzed up I'd be about that.
No, and at one point he kept repeating, these women, you got to be tough. If you're not tough enough, maybe you take the Tylenol, but you got to be tough.
What am I supposed to do?
Don't take the Tylenol. And Trump knew what he was doing, because as he ends, and he was meandering for about 10 minutes, just repeating himself. He then turns over and goes, Bobby, I'm sorry, Bobby, if I ruined your day. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's like, I'm just saying it. I've thought this for 30 years. I'm saying it, just common sense. And I'm sorry, Bobby, if I ruined this whole announcement.
You just know that Trump's got to a spot now where he's like, how long do I have to talk? 4.5 minutes.
All right.
All right. I got this.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
I know some friends, man. They're fat, and I can't help it. I tell them they're fat.
It's just such a fun moment there with Trump.
Well, you gotta love Trump. That says it best when he's not on a teleprompter. When he tells it like it is. You got a fat friend. You got a fat friend.
Here, let's hear it again, Soldier Boy.
Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, yeah, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me.
Oh!
Oh, no, I love how he cracks himself up and chuckles when he says fat.
Hey, you don't look it to me. Oh, my God. I said, you know, that's the times when your mom used to tell you, you got nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. Well, he didn't. He let that baby rip.
Now, somebody just texted me saying, but go ahead.
Go ahead. He's at his best when he's not on that teleprompter.
I agree.
When he shoots it natural, I think he has a connection with the average man and woman in this country. They understand that language. You're fat.
Yeah.
It ain't helping you out.
No, the blunt language seems to play these days.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. It does for me. I mean,
it's a little more honest, though. All politics is wrapped in BS, even the guys we like.
Yeah, but everybody's a little wrapped in the BS.
That's my point.
Out straight.
Yeah, and he says it. He just gives
God.
it straight lines. It. He doesn't soft pedal the BS by any means.
Yeah, it's not like powdered sugar and coating with caramel a turd. It is what it is. You're fat. I love him. And the funniest thing is, Trump, you know, we give him a hard time about certain things. But you know what? Look who's putting more hours in than him. Okay?
That's true.
His predecessor wouldn't even show up for what? For one, public speaking for every, 3 or 4 months?
Well, and he certainly couldn't
And he'd last
speak off the cuff and like on his toes with the press yelling at him and all that sort of stuff.
Let's be fair. He didn't exactly know where he was when he was doing it.
And in a way, what was shocking is Joe Biden was better at it than Kamala. He at least had old age and crap in his pants as an excuse.
I want to read Kamala's book. First of all, here's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to wait for Kamala's book to not sell worth a damn and show up at Big Lots. You know how books that don't sell too well always end up in Big Lots real quick?
Sure.
Well, that's what's going to happen to her book. And I'm going to read it, and I want to know, okay, who was in that bunny costume? I heard a lot of different stories.
Oh, yeah, the Easter egg hunt, yeah. Who's that bunny costume?
Somebody told me it was his wife. Some said it was White House assistants. And I heard it was somebody from CIA or Secret Service or place. I'm just curious to know because he got lost, remember? He's like,
Yep.
And the rabbit had to come over and help him out.
Well, I got another call here, Soldier Boy. I got to run. Appreciate it, though, man. 272-9228. Somebody did text me and said, Tylenol destroys your liver. True. Acetaminophen will, heavy use of that will really harm your liver, like badly. And it's more over time sort of thing. I'm sure you could take enough in one sitting where it would hurt you too, but like it's more the consistent use over time. Like if you're waking up every morning and the first thing you do is pop like a even over-the-counter painkiller, anti-inflammatory drug, probably not a good thing if you're doing that every day for years. Just common sense right there. So maybe there is something to this whole acetaminophen, Tylenol in pregnancy, during gestation, during young children, like early days, if you are pumping them full of it. Maybe there is something there.
It could be processed foods.
Right.
I mean,
and maybe this is a head fake to be like, you thought we were going to say vaccines. We threw Tylenol at you. Which what the old joke is for nurses is like throw a handful of Tylenol at a patient and see if it works. Like it's in the short term, it's not exactly a dangerous drug that's going to kill you, but maybe there's something to this. I don't know. Not smart enough to know. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Edward Joey, enjoying the show.
Hey, Edward, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just wanted to call, based on what you've been saying in the first part of this show, just a huge thank you. You're like the only person that I listen to who is right of center that ever affords Trump any legitimate criticism. Most on the right and so-called conservatives just slob that knob as much as they can and have lost all critical thinking skills. So I wanted to thank you, Joey, because you may be a rarity out there, but you hold President Trump accountable and you share it with your audience, and you do it in a very respectful, jovial way, which is great. So I just say keep it up, brother, man.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. And were you the one who called in earlier to Scott's show?
Yes, sir.
Great call. Fantastic
Thank
conversation.
Thank you very much.
I, like many others, feel an extra fire in my heart to jump into all this. I've been, let's say, wrestling with God for several years now, and born and raised Catholic. So I was more just listening, going, I don't know exactly, but I found a lot of your clarifications very edifying.
Well, thank you, Joe. And just remember, the Lord God is really big. He can handle any doubt, any screaming, anything at all. He wants you to throw the crap at him because he's our Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
He don't want you to sit there in misery. So good kudos to you, brother. Just keep working through it. I have my ups and downs just like everybody. That's the journey of life that we're all in until we grow to that great land that nobody returns from.
Well, and I guess I could lay out what I've been doing the last week and my plan going forward. And I guess partly my goal is to annoy all denominations who already have their methodology of how you should go about reading the Bible. I will pick a particular, like the thing I picked recently, because I always found him, though I'm not Protestant, if claiming anything, I'm Catholic, I always found John MacArthur quite compelling. And so I picked up his book, The Gospel According to God, which is, of course, on the prophet Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. And so in the morning, just to hear the music of it, it's not for intense study, it's just to hear it, I am listening to a King James version of the book of Isaiah. Then I'll reference the MacArthur book that lays out the argument quite beautifully and in detail. And then I will go to my big old thick Catholic study Bible and then do the sort of deep dive into it of what the Catholic church fathers said going through the ages. So, it's kind of all of the above approach, but trying to embody it in a way.
Well, that's the good thing. Just there's so much doctrinal division within Christendom. It's really sad. But the biggest thing we have in common is Jesus Christ is our resurrected Savior and God is our Father. If we don't lose sight of that, so many differences could be laid aside, especially religiously and particularly politically.
Sure.
But we have a leadership, left, right, conservative, liberal, Marxist, whatever you want to call them, that their whole vestment to power and what keeps them in power is keeping us divided. That is in my opinion, after 50 years of living, that is the only purpose that politicians serve, is their own interest and to keep themselves in power. It is so rare that we have someone like Coach Tuberville who's willing to go up, serve a term, walk away, like how Dick Brubaker was with the House and the Senate. He agreed to serve only a couple of terms, and he held to his word on that. But those are statesmen, and we have so few of those in our republic. It's disheartening at times. But when I listen to your show, Joey, you're a very intelligent young man, and you're speaking truth to power. And it's one of those things that gives me a lot of hope for this republic, that we're not doomed. And I'll just take exception with one thing. I'm a right-wing believing conservative to the core, very, very ultra conservative. But there's things out there that are being done under the name of conservatism that are not conservative at all. Even with the whole MAGA movement, in my 50 years, I honestly can't think of a single time that the United States was not the greatest economic power, not the greatest military power, not the greatest libertarian power.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been able to buy into the Make America Great Again, just because in my lifetime, in my perspective, I've never seen us as not great. We've had our warts, our faults. Our democracy is strong, and we work through those things. We'll We'll overcome a Biden. We'll overcome a Trump. We'll overcome a Clinton. We'll overcome a Bush. That pendulum, it just swings left and right all the time. And it's swung right pretty good now. But what scares me is when it swings hard left. This country thinks that Obama was a leftist. He was no leftist. He's a centrist compared to the left.
Yes, sir. Well, great call, Edward. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling, and call again.
Keep it up, Joey.
Thank you, sir. This is part of the program. In fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon, ready to help you out, especially with interest rates now starting to move downwards at the Federal Reserve, the overnight banking level. That will soon affect mortgage rates, if it hasn't already. And so if you've been waiting and wondering and just thinking, I don't know, should I buy a place? Should I refinance the current place? What? Go ahead and at least start the conversation with Alabama Home Mortgage. Of course, they can help you get pre-approved. That's the first step if you're looking to buy a home, and they can walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day. And that's a quick turnaround on closing day. And of course, they can also help you with a great refinance deal. But it all starts with the conversation. Get ahead of the game here as the macro economy starts shifting. That number, 567-4223. It's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. There are broadcast reports a verdict has been reached in the Ryan Ruth trial. Ruth faces life in prison. He had been charged with trying to assassinate Donald Trump on a South Florida golf course. President Trump canceling a meeting with Democratic congressional leaders. The president had been scheduled to meet with the Senate and House Democratic leaders on Thursday in hopes of reaching an agreement to fund the government before the September 30th deadline. The president wrote online that the Democrat budget requests are unserious and ridiculous, and that he will only meet with leaders if they get serious about the country's future. Ukraine says Russian missiles, drones, and bombs have killed at least 2 civilians as that war continues. On Wall Street, stocks are lower, the Dow dropping 125 points. This is SRN News.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you
Rich
don't.
Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first full day of fall, it's going to feel like a regular summer day with high temperatures back to the 90s again. I think we're in the mid-90s with plenty of sunshine today. Tonight's low around 70. Tomorrow's high in the middle 90s again. And the rain chances today and tomorrow are not zero, but very small. But important changes ahead. Showers and thunderstorms move into the state Wednesday night in the overnight hours, and showers and storms will be likely on Thursday as a cool front swings through Alabama. So the prospects for rain look good, and some nice air behind that front. The first weekend of fall will feel great. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News with Andrea Tice.
For Andrea Tice, I'm Carl Brady. 4 teenagers were arrested after allegedly shooting at a deputy pursuing them over a stolen car. That's according to the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. The incident occurred on Friday afternoon. The Sheriff's Office says a deputy was following the stolen car when the occupants allegedly opened fire. The officer chased the car until it stopped and all occupants fled on foot. Officials say all of the individuals were arrested and identified as 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 17-year-old. The 13-year-old was driving the car, and all have received a variety of charges, including attempted murder. More news after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaper with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A University of Alabama employee died on campus Monday while operating lawn equipment. Tuscaloosa and University police responded to a medical call at about 9 a.m. and discovered the deceased employee. No additional details have been released, but authorities say there was no sign of foul play. Will Berry was 11 when his mother was murdered. 33-year-old Margaret Parrish Berry was shot in the head during a robbery at the gas station where she worked. Jeffrey West was 21 when he pulled the trigger. West is scheduled to be executed on Thursday, but according to the Associated Press, the victim's son is asking Governor Kay Ivey to stop the execution. The governor responded, though, that it is her duty to carry out the law. I'm Carl Brady for 1819
For more news
News.
affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodward, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Did you know that more Americans listen to radio than use Facebook each week? Did you know that 77% of listeners would try a brand or product endorsed by their favorite radio personality? Contact me, Cheryl Woodward, by going to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala. That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't
Shut up, silly woman.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Byron Sheehy, thankfully, been in studio with me all day today.
Doing what I can, man. Ain't much, but I'm here.
And I know it's a rough day of memorial for yourself, but we can carry on. We can be serious and poignant, and we can cut up and make ourselves laugh. It's always fun to tickle yourself, so to speak.
So long as you do it in private.
By the way, this tickled me this morning when I saw it. This is Trump at the very beginning of his United Nations General Assembly speech. And it was, I thought, quite a rip-roaring speech.
I thought it was pretty good.
And we'll get to some of the serious stuff, but this was the very beginning. Let's listen in to the president trying to give his speech, and something stopped working. By the way, as he tried to go up the escalator to give this speech, the escalator stopped working. Weird, but let's listen in.
Very much appreciated. And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you, nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
I'm looking at you, Dave.
No, and seriously, it seemed like there were all these people ready to hiss at him over his speech.
I love how he looked at someone.
Whoever's running this teleprompter, hold on, let's get it. Let's get that again.
You speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Oh, man.
He's got good stage presence.
No, and he does. It's the same energy as when he kind of took over the autism Tylenol announcement. It's like he doesn't want to stand on ceremony by any means. Like he will just let it rip. But Trump then goes on to call out the United Nations for many different things. But he, I think, somehow works the teleprompter and escalator into this critique as well.
Instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
This is right after he laid out, I've stopped 7 wars in 7 months, and I'm trying to work on stopping Russia, Ukraine, and trying to get a ceasefire in Gaza, but the UN has not helped me on any of this.
I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. Just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars.
And Trump goes on to call out globalism, mass migration, saying Europe needs to up their game in general. In fact, I've got a little bullet list here of all the things that Trump brought up in this General Assembly speech. Called for protections for Christians around the world, eviscerated the UN for funding mass migration into the U.S. and, in particular, Western Europe. Said Europe must stop adopting Sharia law, harshly criticized globalism, slammed the UN for its climate alarmism, saying, I remember when it was global cooling, and then they changed it to global warming, and that didn't, so they've changed it to climate change. It goes up, it goes down, you're right either way. He scorched countries, in particular India and China, as well as the Europeans, for funding Russia's war, promoted fossil fuels, urged countries to stop falling for the green scam, said the UN doesn't back up its words with any meaningful action on issues that matter, preached American exceptionalism and said none of their countries come close, demanded an end to biological weapons, including almost like an AI database to see this through. So we're going to solve controls on biological weapons and also create a joint international AI project so we can trust each other at least on one front of the AI race. Not the worst idea. Concluded by urging UN members to protect their national identities by clamping down on mass migration and serving their people. And of course, clown the UN for the escalator and the teleprompter. All just this morning. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Now it's time for the airing of grievances.
What's up?
Well,
Cameron, didn't you already call in? Didn't you already call in?
I've got a lot of problems with you people.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to hear about them.
Oh, it's not Cameron. This is Papa B doing a Trump voice. Okay, for a second, I'm like, Cameron, stop it.
I'm no good at it. But I tell you what, it did sound like the airing of grievances, didn't it? Like you people and the climate change people.
Oh, man.
It's always heads you win, tails I lose. No matter what happens. Oh, you got to love it. Trump just lays it down. And, they have to just kind of deal with it. But at least they're laughing a little bit now.
Yeah.
Before it was like they're ready to drag him off the stage and not crucify him in the court square, Yeah,
but, it's a change of pace.
Do what?
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace to get that whole room cracking up laughing.
Yeah, that was nice. And anyway, but he's so right. The United Nations. What has the United Nations done, Joey? What have they done?
I don't know.
Anything worthwhile?
It's a forum to let people that think they're important let off steam, I suppose. There's actual real teeth to the UN Security Council, but you kind of need the United States. I've always thought the Holy Roman Empire was neither a Holy Roman nor an empire. The International Liberal Order is neither international liberal or much of an order. It's really Pax Americana. The UN is nothing without the United States.
No, exactly. Plus, we fund the whole thing and have been.
Yeah.
All the rest of the countries are just there for the handouts. They're just there for whatever we hand out, I guess.
Well, and everybody's down to play ball when the UN stood up post-war. They're real down with it. And the U.S. is down with it because we get to set the rules of the road to our benefit as the indispensable nation. And then I think in the last, especially since the rise of China economically, you've now seen the Chinese, but the Europeans and others try to use the so-called international system against us. And the resistance is going to continue on the part of the United States as long as Trump's in there. If you get the other team in there, then, we'll see.
Oh, yeah, everything's hunky-dory. Yeah. Let's say the rape, pillage, and burning of the United States, carries on. Just whatever, however fast you can drain the United States of its wealth and distribute it out to a bunch of, hooligans, well, that's what you're going to do. I'm really calling in today, though, about South Korea. I had no idea. And Newt Gingrich pointed this out, I think, yesterday, that South Korea is in real trouble. Have you heard anything about what's going on in South Korea?
I have not, actually.
Well, it appears that a communist dictatorship has taken over South Korea. And so I'd like to get a little more news on it. If you want to sashay into that and look into it, that's fine. I'm going to try to, but, for what now, 70 years or so, South Korea has stood at the gate like, standing against the black gates of Mordor, and so, now it's been corrupted. That doesn't sound good at all, Joey. Apparently, President Trump is going to have to say something to him about the persecution of Christians, which is naturally what a communist country or a communist dictatorship, that's one of the first things that they do. And that is really remarkable in and of itself, because far back as I can remember, South Korea was extreme Christian country. I mean, am I wrong about that, or?
No, the leader of the Unification Church, he's 82, was arrested yesterday, but today, Tuesday, as investigators probe allegations that the church bribed the wife of the jailed former president and conservative lawmaker. Yeah, and the new leader of South Korea is looking to de-escalate and unify the two Koreas.
Well, that's the Moonies I think they're talking about. But, I was thinking more the evangelical sect of Christianity there in South Korea. But anyway, I've got to get schooled up on it. But I was very concerned to hear that from Newt Gingrich, and he's one to pay attention to if he says something like that.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll have to study up on it. I admit my ignorance on that one in particular.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Have a
Bobby.
good one.
Let's go to, by the way, we all know that Ryan Ruth was just convicted on all 5 charges. The would-be assassin of Trump on the golf course. And apparently Ryan Ruth, after the verdict was handed down by the judge, tried to grab a pin off the desk and stab himself to death with it. Crazy.
Too bad he wasn't successful.
Deputy Attorney General saying, great day for Department of Justice. Again, Ryan Ruth convicted on all charges. Not surprising, given he was representing himself and it was a farce. And he appeared to try to stab himself with a pen after the verdict. And the U.S. Marshals were able to restrain him before he caused too much injury to himself. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Dang, boy. Woo. Boy trying to stab himself, Joey.
Yeah, I didn't know Ryan Ruth was Japanese.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. A mix of emotions as always.
Okay. Would you upset because Auburn don't have a defense? So we don't have a defense at Auburn.
If I was upset about that, I would have to kick my own ass. Like that's just being an Auburn fan.
I mean, you can't stop nobody on defense. How the hell you gonna win a game? You can't stop nobody on the other team. Sometimes. I got that out the way now.
No, I've been kicking around a few different things today.
Yeah, I heard you talking about the stuff old Donnie been bragging about. 7 War. But he can't do nothing with poop. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Old poop boy do what he want to do. Continue his war forever.
Well, in both the wars that can still go on, the strong horse doesn't want to stop running. Whether it's Russia or Israel.
The ball over there. And the ball over there in Israel, yeah, his 2 buddies. Yeah, he can't seem to stop those 2 wars for some reason. But anyhow, reason I called, I'm interested in what he had to say about the economy. What did he say about the economy, Mr. Joey?
During the speech?
At the UN.
Yeah.
We're the hottest country right now. We weren't hot. We're hot now. We had so much investment, $17 trillion invested since I became president again. You're president.
Say
Something to that
the
effect.
the economy is in a hot mess. What'd you say?
No, he said we're the hottest country in the nation. Nobody's even close.
We'll put the word hot where it's supposed to be, in a hot mess right now, because the economy is screwed up right now. Because everything keep going up, Joey. And he said he's going to bring all this stuff down day one.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't happened yet. He's too busy running after everybody, all his enemies, everybody that hurt his feelings. He's running after them instead of dealing with the economy. That's what I want to see. The economy to get better.
What would you like him? What would you like him to do in the short term?
I don't know. He should have started out taking care of the economy like he claimed, but hell, he's running behind.
So what would you have done?
Everybody else.
What would you have done differently from? What would you have done differently from
I'm
day
not the
one?
president.
So you want the thing, but you don't know how the thing can be done.
No, he's the day one guy. He's the president. I'm not the president. Yeah, he said he was going to do it in day one. I didn't say that.
So you don't know how they were going to do it. Like you just don't
He
think.
said he was going to do it. I was going by what he said he was going to do. He haven't did that for us.
Right, and what's the long run effect of these policies? Yeah.
Are things in a better like you
yes.
I can't even get it out. Conservatives and Republicans always say
Better than it was, yes.
Better.
A lot better than it
Price of the
was.
Lord. Price of the Lord this time it was last year. What you saying? Price of the Lord than it was last year this time?
No, I'm saying the increase in prices decreased.
I said what now?
I said the increase in prices decreased.
Let me clear my throat.
So instead of it increasing 4 or 5%, it increased 2%.
Okay.
Because we have a monetary system built off the issuance of money and credit, a debt.
In other words, to sum it all up, he hasn't done a damn thing for his economy. What you're trying to say in so many words?
No, I think there's been a lot of investment, Duke. A lot of investment.
I'm doing a lot of throat clearing right now, George, because it's damn it funny, boy.
I mean, you can dance and party early. We're still very early in the game.
I ain't dancing the party. Hell, I'm upset. I got to go to Lowe's in a few minutes and get some screws in this damn thing, about $14 box. Come on now. $10 box of screws.
So, like, all the fossil fuel exploration means nothing. Like, all the investment being brought in overseas means nothing.
I'm talking about us regular folks. We don't see it. Hell, all this mess talking about what we're going to do down the road.
Do you have a job?
It's not happening now.
Do you have a job?
Huh?
Do you have a job?
I'm working on some projects right now. I'm going to get some screws. It's going to cost me damn $14 for a box of them. What
Right.
you talking about?
Yeah, you and everybody else.
That's what I'm talking about. So this president's supposed to brought it down day one. But the hell, the first thing he did was partner sorry about at the White House up there that did the Capitol stuff.
Yeah, good riddance. Good riddance. Glad he pardoned him.
Hang on, let me leave that alone. Say what now?
I'm glad he pardoned him. And your argument will have a little more oomph to it, because I'm tempted to say weight room right now. Say this time next year. August, September of next year is when it really matters.
Economy going to be better this time next year.
I don't know. It needs to be, though.
That's my argument about that. You know, you weight room all you want to, but economy, what people ran, what he ran on, and all the rest of them claim they ran on it was the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, it's not happening, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You can prop it up all you please. With that wooden stand you got next to you there, but it's not happening, brother, bro. All right, let me leave that alone. I want to get you in a good mood some kind of way.
Not possible.
Auburn going to win this week, man. Auburn going to win this week, man.
I don't care.
You don't care. Anyway, man, who moves said hi?
I don't know that bitch. Thanks for the call. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228.
Do you think part of the unhealthiness of the economy might have been that it was being propped up by those on the left for so long?
Yeah, and it was also being propped up, but they had to revise down 1 million jobs.
Yeah, but
they reported 1 million jobs that didn't exist. And the fundamental change you've seen in the economy is you are actually seeing native-born Americans gaining more employment and better wages, real wages going up for native-born. You're seeing, well, Tom Homan says about 2 million people. Some have been deported, some have left on their own volition. So you're seeing a decline in employment for foreign-born workers. You now have this massive debt service hanging over our heads, which is why Trump and team have been yelling at Jerome Powell and folks. But as far as, and I said it during the time, as far as the inflation issue, it's the system we got. They think deflation in the system we got is always a bad thing. What you always need is like a little bit of inflation, like a little bit of devaluation on your money, a little bit of it every year. We need that little bit of devaluation.
You mean the Depression wasn't good when everything just collapsed in price? That wasn't a good thing?
No, that was a bad thing because that was debt deleveraging after everybody's all leveraged up and
I was just talking
the
about
thing went boom.
You want a little escalation.
No, but also the greatest growth period, I believe, in human history, economic growth, was the late 1800s, and it was marked by massive deflation because of all the products and services and productivity gains.
Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's possible again. You also look at, say, the 20s, like the price stayed stable, but it actually there should have been deflation in the 20s. Instead, the newly created Federal Reserve pumps a lot of money and credit into the economy, and they keep it going. They start pumping it during the First World War, and there's a crash in 1921. They do no corrections. They do no corrections at all. I think Herbert Hoover isn't president yet. It's like, no, we got to get in there. I'm a master engineer and we can solve this and stuff. No, the conservative government just lets it rip. Huge drop in the economy, then a huge comeback, a V shape real quick. And over the 20s, what you see is a lot of the Fed pumping money and credit into the economy. And so it looks stable, but what you have is a lot of money printing that then goes into the stock market. You get this huge blow up in it, and you can get in all the issues of regional local banks and how fragile they were in how they're actually structured. It gets complicated. But from that time period, it's always the thinking's like, no, we need about 2% inflation. We need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think what would be a great way to give people the opportunity to own more homes. Remember George W. Bush was saying we need to do all these programs and give people money to buy homes. Like, there's another way you could do it, George. You could, let the market work. And if prices in housing fell, maybe more people will buy them and it'll be accessible. Instead, we got to come up with ninja loans and take advantage of people that don't qualify whatsoever, and then immediately sell that hot potato off to where it's a moral hazard built in where the taxpayer has to bail us out. It's all so wonderful.
We'll take that AAA rating that we have on this one thing and package a bunch of junk with it and turn around and sell it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Good stuff.
No, I think the economy is better than it was, especially seeing those revised down numbers. That said, the inflation issue is it's not as bad as the 9% number that was popped one year, the 5% numbers, but I still don't like it.
How much did the government spend during COVID? How much money did they print?
Oh, ridiculous.
Essentially
amounts,
create out of nothing.
Yes.
So I don't think.
And that caused a huge part of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Why do you think
who did that?
Oh, I think that was like Trump, and he was president during COVID, right?
The first part.
Yeah. That's interesting. And then they spent even more when Biden gets in there.
Yeah.
Kept it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Oz.
Hey, Oz.
So I'm not even going to use an analogy. I'm just going to say it straight up. Duke might have been upset, but when you have a group of people that all they do is leech off the country and they screw everything up for such a long amount of time, it's going to take a while to clean things up and to fix it. So I wish everybody would quit bashing the current administration and look back at the former administration and see what evil and ugliness and division and decline they brought into this country. That's what they need to do. You need to look at that and see what the issues were when they were in office and how bad it got, just dividing people and hurting people. And now the left wants to just dismiss any of the rights, morals, any of their feelings, any of the way that we are trying to change things, make things better, and criticize it. Just like, I mean, why is Kimmel coming back? Why? He's losing money. He said something he shouldn't have said. But then you have the elitists that are saying, oh, well, I'm going to cancel my subscription. Go ahead.
Right.
Leave the country. Get out of here. We'll be better off without you. We will be better off. Sometimes you have to cut the cancer away for the body to heal and to get better.
Well, and by the way,
sorry, I had to go on a little rant.
No, it was a good rant, but I think both Sinclair and Nextstar said we're still going to preempt Kimmel. And I think it was Sinclair that was demanding like a true apology and for him to donate to Turning Point. So Kimmel ain't fully back on air yet.
Yeah, and, you know, nobody's going to admit when they're wrong. And that's the problem, because they think they're right in everything that they do. And they wind up messing things up more, and then they don't want to admit anything. But they want everyone else to be apologetic about what they want to do. And then when you bring up the past and show where they had stated things, because, you know, everything's been posted over the past little bit about even Jim Carrey and his statements about vaccinations from years back.
Yeah, and Jenna McCarthy.
They're going to criticize. Yeah. But, you know, don't worry about that now when they're talking current day. So anyway, it's a lot for people to think of, but I wish people would research and look into things on their own instead of believing some of the talking heads that are out there that are one-sided. Do your own research and find the truth.
Well, and I think it is the crime issue is big. The Republicans are still leading on the economy, by the way, and that's from, we covered it earlier, Washington Post Ipsos poll saying the Republicans leading, even with independents still on the economy. But it is the economy, stupid. So if we're sitting in August, September, October of next year, right before the midterms, that will matter a great deal when more people are paying attention, and the argument should be had in that moment.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate
I do want to ask one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
One quick question. When do you think we will see some of the impact of having to get the refineries back up and being able to drill and finally being self-sustaining on our energy production? When will that happen?
Some of those facilities, it's going to take a year or two to stand some of that. It's with the refinery capacity, I believe also with the AI investment, a lot of the big infrastructure stuff they're doing. I think Doug Burgum at Interior is doing a fantastic job of moving this very fast, but very fast can still mean about a year or two for, you're talking massive facilities and massive capacity, and we need more of it.
Yeah, because on those old refineries, once they're shut down, it takes forever to get those back up and running. So, yeah. All right, guys. Y'all take care. God bless.
God bless us. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. And the seasons are starting to change.
Thank goodness.
I know. I'm looking forward to cooler weather, though.
Yeah.
I am.
As your resident fat guy, me too.
But one thing I'm not looking forward to.
Critters.
Yeah. As the seasons change, these little critters try to get inside. Those cockroaches, those mice. And then on the outside of the home, you don't get it treated, spiders. And the spiders themselves aren't that scary looking, like the ones I'm thinking of. But they get busy on that web. They can web a whole house in an evening.
Mm-mm.
And so if you're tired of getting webbed going in and out of your home or just trying to go into your backyard or off the screen porch, whatever it is, wherever you're getting webbed, Pest Pro can take care of that. And be careful. You might be, well, I can kill a spider. It's a little one. Well, okay, the web will be right back up. And how do you know if you kill that spider, it won't have babies that go everywhere? Come on.
Can you kill 1,000 of them?
Come on. Because that's like right out of a horror movie. Instead, call the pros there at Pest Pro Services. You can always learn more about them at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. They have a very active Facebook page. And, of course, you can always call them direct to 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. And we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years. And now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It still feels like summertime, but we have some big changes to look forward to. Tonight and daytime tomorrow, generally dry, with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 70. We'll be in the middle 90s on Wednesday. Then in the overnight hours, Wednesday night into Thursday, showers and thunderstorms move into the area. This will be ahead of an important cool front. The rain prospects look good and some nice air, certainly by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Debbie. Hey, Debbie, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Long time no hear.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you, you sure did say a mouthful about what is going on with our economy. Thank you very much. And a man that was on just a minute ago, and I didn't catch his name, I hate to say it, but he brought up a very good point, which I intended to do. People don't look very far into the past to see what really has been going on for years because it wasn't their side of view. Now, when Conan was canned, he had good ratings, right? I was under Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Judge Janine. She was doing good on Fox, but she was canned because of Obama, correct? She said something about his birth certificate, I believe they didn't agree with. And then who else? Well, of course, Tucker Carlson with Biden disappeared, and he was at the top of his ratings, right? This is not new. This is dirty politics. And what really kills me is when Obama comes out and says, ho, 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 media shouldn't be doing this. Well, Lord have mercy. Where was he when it was happening when he was the prez? Talk about hypocrite. Big time. There you go. And going on to what you were saying about our economy, it didn't happen overnight. Don't expect a miracle. I mean, he is not God, and he's not our fairy godmother or godfather. Not excuse me. Sorry, President Trump.
So, if God could send some manna from heaven, it would shut a lot of people up. But y'all keep raising golden calves and stuff. It's just crazy.
I know. But, the bottom line is you can't expect it to happen overnight. But he has been stepping in the right direction, putting a lot of money our way. It will be coming around. It has to be created first, which means the buildings have to be built. The people have to be hired and trained. This is not an overnight deal. This is long term, and this is something we need. So be patient for that to occur. It's happening. It's being done. The pen has already signed the ink on the paper. Be patient. Now, as far as this man that supposedly shot and killed Kirk, I don't know much about it. I'll be honest with you. But I was talking to a friend, and I thought it was interesting what he had said. He's an avid hunter. He was explaining that he has hunted. Well, he hasn't hunted, but he has used that particular rifle in the past. And he said that rifle is very bad about not staying calibrated. It is not a good long shot rifle. And he is amazed that that young man was able to shoot that distance with the wind kicking up and be that accurate. So is that going to be like another Kennedy with an Oswald, do you think?
Yes, especially in this day and age. Everything
I
is
really hate it.
up for debate.
Well, now, I did listen to Candace Owen, her little thing about she had actually saw the video that had disappeared right shortly after the shooting. She found it, who had it, and she witnessed it. It was from the back, and she said the one thing she noticed, there was absolutely no blood on the back of that man. So that means what? The bullet is still in him, right? So the ballistics should be rather easily determined, meaning that they have the rifle.
Honestly,
I
I don't care what Candace Owens' stupid ass says.
I like her, though. She's not brilliant
I
in
don't.
a lot of ways, but she's smart in some. Yeah, but anyway, I still find that the bottom line is that I just think it's a little too convenient that this young man just pops up out of nowhere so quick. They had to have somebody. And that's why it makes me suspicious, because it was such a quick find. And they don't seem to be looking anywhere else. So it makes me worry that we just got us a patsy that's being set up for the kill.
Well,
I don't know.
The conversation will continue. I appreciate it, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Joey. You have a good day, honey.
You too. Yeah, I mean, everything could be, not as it seems, right? Everything.
I'm going to go back on something that was mentioned that makes no bearing on anything. Was Conan really canceled because of conservative viewpoints?
Conan O'Brien?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she mentioned Conan, Judge Janine, and Tucker, and I didn't remember Conan being fired for political people.
Roseanne, maybe. Maybe she said Roseanne.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Conan was done dirty by Leno.
Okay.
Yeah, Conan gets the Tonight Show.
How Conan sounds like Roseanne, I don't know, but I heard Conan.
That's fair. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. I wonder if I can find this real quick. It's because you brought up Conan. And did you see the send-off? Like, this is after Conan gets the Tonight Show. Then, after a year, he gets the can, he just gets the can, he gets the rug pulled out from under him. And hold on, I'm gonna have to find this. And then Leno takes an earlier slot, and Conan's gone, and then eventually it's Leno retires again, and then Fallon's brought in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Conan didn't get long there at all. But Norm Macdonald being Norm Macdonald, he was able in that moment with Conan. Gift basket, yes, he was able to make Conan smile.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So, and let's make sure I share this with the stream. Maybe we'll get pulled off the stream. I don't care at this point. We only got 10 minutes left. Let's listen in. This was Norm's send off to Conan O'Brien.
Hey,
And for those of you just listening, he's walking in with a huge gift basket with a huge card on it. So he walks in and he's got this gift basket here.
Oh, nice of you to stop by, and you.
Well, I want to drop by, show my respects,
Well, for you to bring a basket commemorating sort of the tough situation I'm in is really.
Yeah, so it's already been announced that he's done. He's fired. He only got the Tonight Show for a year.
Really nice.
Yeah. Well, that's not what that is.
Well, what is this basket for?
Oh, this is an older basket. I procrastinate, as you know. And this is a basket I got you back in June.
Wait a minute. Norm, you've had this basket since June?
Yeah.
I've seen you. You've been on the show 3 times. Why didn't you ever give me the basket?
I keep forgetting it. But I wanted you to know I bought it. It was $60. And, I wouldn't open it. I think it would smell. Well, there's a card also.
Yeah, I see that. It says congrats on it. That's terrific.
Oh, I don't know if can I read it?
Yeah, why not?
Congratulations, Conan, on finally securing your place as permanent host of The Tonight Show. That's something they can never take away from you. It is perhaps the shrewdest programming decision ever made by the NBC Brain Trust. Sure, the pressure is on, but if I know you, Conan O'Brien, miserable failure is not an option. You are the new king of late night.
Thank you.
Long live the king.
We could all have friends like Norm McDonald's in times when they're rough.
I take an enemy like Norm McDonald.
Yeah, here. This part of the program brought to you by Dillon Rings. Again, they are a full-service jewelry shop. Whether you're looking for some custom design work like they're showcasing on their Facebook page right now, or you're looking to buy from the great inventory from everyday jewelry to the top-end stuff, or maybe you're looking for some repair work or a spa treatment on that favorite piece of jewelry you wear all the time. You want it to be shining and shimmering like it's brand new all over again, so you keep wearing it for years. Of course, they can do appraisals. They buy old jewelry. They do it all there at Dillon Rings. So stop by today. It's 119 Brown Springs Road, right off of Atlanta Highway here in Montgomery. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Fox Tonight is the place for uncovering mysteries and memories.
I had a car accident. I lost 8 years in my life.
First, it's the season premiere of Murder in a Small Town.
Your success rate in solving major crimes is superb.
Surprises the heck out of me too sometimes. Then, it's the season premiere of the smash hit Doc.
You're having memories? They're just weird flashes. I need my life back. I will do whatever it takes.
Tonight on Fox 20.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones, talk to Mike real quick. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Doing well, you?
Mix of emotions, but all right.
Great. Thank you for taking my call. I've listened to several calls. One of your callers mentioned about taking a knife and cut cancer out of the body politic because they're legal. I've been an independent voter, not only an independent voter, but an independent thinker and researcher. On my own, I listen to both sides through my own search. And when I say I listen to both sides, I listen to the ultra-conservative and the ultra-liberals. And the cancer has to be cut from both sides. As an independent thinker, that's the conclusion that I have come. When he talked about leeches, thinking about what about the multinational corporations?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And the corporate farmers and all companies that leech off of us taxpayers. And everything is either it's Obama's fault, or it's Biden's fault, or it's Trump's fault, or it's George Bush's fault. We've all gone to our side, and no matter what the outcome is, we're going to protect the person that we want to protect. And my position is this: those who disagree with me are not my. There may be opponents in my ideology and my philosophy and even my theology, but they're surely not my enemy. No one I'm aware desires to destroy the country. And I like to say this: if there's anyone who wants to destroy the country, we have I think, guardrails and the system in this democracy to keep them from doing so on the right and on the left. And there are those on the left and the right who feels that perhaps we need to get rid of this democratic institution. But I hope that is not the majority of the people. And I just wanted to share that with you. But if I've listened intently, and it's either Obama, or Biden, or it's Trump.
Have you ever read any of my writing, Mike?
I have not.
Well, I'm probably going to come out with a book in the next few months. I would encourage you to do it. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I said all politicians lie, especially the ones that you support. And I constantly make the point that it's the reliance on the political process, the winner take all, that's driving us crazy. But I've run out of time. Appreciate the call, man. This part of the program, actually, let's see if I can get him on like right now here. Let's see here. Let's go. We're calling Ray Balls for folks who don't know.
Feels like a Jerky Boys bit.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to prank him. Ray?
Hey, man.
Hey, we're on the air. Sorry, I had to call you on the air. I don't have a screen or anything. How you doing today?
Oh, good. I didn't recognize the number. I was like, they're on the air. I mean, I'm breathing fine.
Is your refrigerator running? Yeah, right.
Well, my mind's out here in La La Land because I'm trying to get my scuba license, and I did that test today, and now I'm reading over everything. Because the one thing I'm not good at is taking tests.
Oh.
If I could take a test, I'd be a lawyer or doctor. But instead, I'm selling floors because I cannot test. I've just never been. It drive Mom nuts. She would spend hours on the couch with me and Ron. We would know the material left and right. We'd come back with a 30. She was just like, how did you make a 30 on that test? I don't know. She'd read it to us and we'd get it right. And then they figured out we were dyslexic. And we're like, oh, okay, we got an excuse for life. Yay!
Yeah, my dad's been using that excuse for years, too.
That's it. That's the only problem, Mama, really, when she found out we were dyslexic. She said, my boys are not going to wear this as a shame thing. They are going to be confident in themselves. And, well, she really overdid that part. Yeah, because me and Ron, that's one thing we don't lack is confidence.
Well, it seems like y'all have survived. You've survived the whole thing.
We are survivalists. Absolutely. You know, I tell parents all the time, if your kid struggles in school and they're dyslexic like me, it's fine. Just hope they're hyperactive because then they'll have so much energy in life that they're going to succeed. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, David. And really, you know, when you get to heaven, I'll say, Lord, if you'd have told us what we're going to do in life, I could have learned one formula in school and been done.
Right.
You know, all I need to know is how to put the carpet down. But hey, you know, Lord's ways are better than my ways. His ways are higher than ours. So if y'all need a floor, I know how to do flooring. Now, I can't take a test, but I know how to do flooring. So call us at 285-8117. We're going to give you the best price, the best job. And after the words, you're going to have private carpet from now on. If you have anything at all you need in that house, you call us.
Again, that number, 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio laying down how to lay carpet.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
Appreciate you, Ray.
30. I got help if I got a 30. How'd you get a 30? I got help.
No. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thanks for being here today, sir.
Thank you.
Greg Budel's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.